I love recording on my desktop screen. Feels like we're FaceTiming. And it takes a lot of the friction out of filming, which is something that's like a huge resistance for me. I have to set up like the cameras and the lighting, and this one's all ready to go. So I might be doing more of this. Lately, I've been reflecting on how much I figure things out in my head, how much I stay and live within the head rather than the heart and the body. Pretty much my entire life I've been academically driven, traditional, go to school, go to uni, get a job type of lifestyle. Coming from an immigrant family, this is nothing new. I had really good grades in school, and then I went to uni. I have a bachelor's of mechatronics engineering and a bachelor's of science. Very heady, very logical kind of things. So funny now that I'm really into like the esoteric, the spiritual, the non-conceptual and the abstract, which I believe was always there and I always had an interest in, especially when I look back on my life and wow, all of those things that I was interested in as a kid, it just makes so much sense now. But as I went throughout my life, that part of me was really suppressed and stifled. I'm just letting her shine now. I'm letting her play. Like, come out and play, girl. It's fine. After I finished uni, I went straight into a full-time corporate 9-to-5 job as a UX UI designer. And I was making a 6-figure salary. It was very cushy, very comfortable, but there was something in me that said not this. It took me a long time to listen to that because my brain was always like, but that is the most illogical thing that you could be doing right now, to leave your job, to remove that stability out of your life. It didn't make sense to me, and so I would keep pushing it away. In January of this year, I quit my job and I've been teaching yoga since. I've been making the least amount of money that I have in years, but I've also been the happiest, the lightest, and the freest that I have felt in ages. And I know that this is not the case for everyone who quits their job. Everyone's situation is different, everyone's journey is different, but this is my experience. And I also know that I'm coming from a huge place of privilege to be able to have that choice to simply quit. I don't have any kids, I don't have a mortgage, so I'm very well aware of the luxury that I have. After I quit my job, the first few months was full of anxiety. I was falling back into the patterns of I need to have everything figured out and I need to have it figured out right now. I wanted to work more on my YouTube videos, but that was just putting way too much pressure on me and I was buckling under that pressure and it was getting harder to make videos. I was getting more anxious around making them. It's taken me up to now to lean into that sense of not knowing and that sense of uncertainty, seeing it as playing rather than as a failure or as my life is in shambles. For majority of my life, if I didn't know how something was going to turn out, if I couldn't see every single step of the way and see that final outcome and know that it was safe for me, then I wouldn't even dare to take the first step, which is so damaging to just freedom and growth and expression and play. It's been only recently, probably around the past few months or so, where I've settled into the uncertainty. I'm doing that by listening to what my heart is telling me rather than listening to what my head is telling me. That starts by knowing what it feels like when my heart is talking to me. I don't think you can know what your heart is telling you when we're constantly bombarded by screens all the time, when we're constantly just being told what to think and having our brains kind of scrambled up. When I'm quiet, when I am away from my screens and my phone, that's when I can hear myself the loudest. I know when something excites me because it feels like a spark in my heart. Sometimes that spark might last for a microsecond or so before the doubts and the fears and the thoughts just come barging back in and they're like, what do you think you're doing? Don't do that. That's so silly. Recently, I've been learning to quiet down that bit of fear and that doubt. That doesn't mean that it's gone. It's definitely still there. but I'm learning to trust that the spark was telling me something and to move in that direction, even if I don't know how it's going to turn out. So for example, with this video, I just had this idea where it was like, go and film a video talking about you figuring it out. Open up your laptop, don't have a script, don't write a plan or dot points, which is what I normally do. Just speak, just talk, play with it as you go along rather than figuring it out from the get-go. That's terrifying to me. So this video is so unplanned. I have no idea what is going on, but this is what playing is. It's sitting with that uncertainty and sitting with that unknown and being okay with it, and honestly being surprised with it. Like, hey, this video is not in complete ruins like my brain was telling me it was gonna be, which is nice. The other night I did this exercise where I got a huge sheet of paper, like a huge cardboard sheet that you normally do in your primary school projects and stuff. In the center, I wrote down heart frequencies, and from that, I started drawing out and writing out all of the things I genuinely love that bring me joy and make me excited. After I did that, the initial reaction of my brain was to figure out what to do with these things, to figure out, oh, is there a business I could make from this? Is there a video idea I could make from this? To just come up with something to get value from what I love. And I really had to stop myself there and be like, girl, that is not the point. That is not the point at all. My heart is my compass, and I'm simply following what makes me happy, what brings me joy. It seems simple, but like, isn't that what life is about? To just follow what makes you happy and to follow what brings you that sense of excitement and joy. Trust that it's coming from a really pure place of love, and that will guide you and lead you. It's really scary sitting with what's unknown. It's uncomfortable, and this kind of just goes back to like the whole phone thing and being on screens thing, where it's like the more we can learn to sit with our discomfort, the more we can lean into fear and discomfort, because we know that there's something there for us, the more life just seems to flow. That's what I've been noticing lately. If I'm following my heart and I'm following what lights me up, I cannot go wrong. If I fail, if I fall flat on my face, at least I still had fun, you know? This sense of surrender and just grand trust in the universe, in spirit, in something greater, in the grand mystery of life. Oh my god, look at my hand, it's glowing. Cool. This video was more a message for my younger self and a message for me maybe even a couple of months ago. And if you're in that same boat, I really hope you remember that there is really nothing to figure out, and all you can really do is get quiet, listen to what is lighting up your heart, and follow that pathway even if it doesn't make sense, and to trust that it's coming from a pure place that won't lead you astray. The more that you trust the uncertainty and the unknown, the less resistant you are to life, and the more everything will just kind of flow. And that doesn't mean that it's going to be easy all the time, but it means that we're not stuck or caught in those loops that our brain plays on us, those little mind games where we're caught in the same 3 or 4 thought cycles over and over again, and really allowing ourselves to break out of that and press up against our edges and grow and experience all that this human incarnation has to give us, which is why we're here: to feel, to experience, to love, to cry, to get mad, to get sad, to get fucking pissed. Like, yeah, it's all part of it. And that's pretty much all I had for today. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hanging out. Mwah. Bye.